Is Monday, May 18th. Here for our regular session meeting. Is there a motion to approve the agenda in the minutes?
I so move as presented.
Second. Motion second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Any public comment? Moving on to new business. Mr. Auditor, are there any claims?
Claims as presented.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Any payroll?
We have a few new hires for the secondary roads, effective 5/11/2026 and 5/18/2026. This will be a resolution.
I move to approve resolution 2026-27 as presented.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The resolution is adopted. Any other payroll?
No, sir.
Any drainage?
I am going to drainage report.
Right. Is there a motion to approve the clerk's monthly report of fees?
So moved.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Any dock permits? Okay, Brandon, why don't you go ahead?
All righty.
Good morning. So we had, on Friday, the storms, we had a few trees go down that took out some power lines, so we had to close roads for that. And then obviously yesterday we had quite a few more roads get closed because the trees down. We didn't have water over the road, but we had a lot of trees like to take out power lines last couple of storms. So we had a bunch of that going around. Other than that, we didn't have any major damage to county facilities or any road facilities or anything out there. So
Any particular area getting hit harder?
it's kind of peppered all over the place, to be honest with you. I mean, it's kind of strange. There was some straight line winds that took out buildings throughout the county, it seemed like. So I wouldn't say there's any focused area. The guys this week are out there doing Dura patching. Mason State's finished up with the machine, and Clear Lake will take it over after that. That's where we go along, we spray the tar and the chips with it to try and seal some potholes and edge the roads that are back together. We'll also be doing the large patch on Lark south of B60 that came apart during, it was being used as a haul road for the DOT for a little while. So that'll get done. We're gonna mark out several other patches on that road that need to get done, but we're just gonna do the one now because it just needs to get done and we don't want to wait for a contractor to do it. We're getting the mowers out, getting that beginning. So if anybody asks you about mowing, we do plan to get that going this week, so long as all the mowers come out of storage. Well, they should, but mowers seem to like to have issues. We'll get that going as soon as they're all functioning for us. Other than that, we're doing some, typical work order stuff, working on drainage tile. Indicated, we'll be doing graveling, kind of getting ready for our June 1st dust control, making sure we're all set for that. They got the repeat people that get it done annually. We got all those spots done. Now it's the new customers that we're trying to get prepared. Other than that, I don't got anything big for you on that one.
Thank you.
So see, looked like they were working on the southern berm of the Illinois property.
Yes. Yep. Sorry, I forgot to give an update. Yeah, we got that berm removed to, I think, where we need to. We're gonna go verify that we have to go get some staked out for the fence, and then we'll have that guy start moving out here to get that done. I didn't have any updates on buildings, so I figured Rockville would be the new one until we get the lighting for the fifth project in. Making progress on all fronts. It's just never as much as you want to get done.
When's the lighting tentatively again?
I gotta look. I don't remember what the date was. It was and now it's the next couple of weeks here. It's in May. May sort of.
All right, we're gonna move on to the 10:05 public hearing. If you want to come up, Tom. Change of zone for Madden.
Yes, for the change of zone, we have the applicant, Madden. They're going to be growing 4.97 acres from A1 Ag to A2 Ag. As you see from the picture here, parcel B will be established by survey, and then their intention is to sell parcel B to the owner of parcel A to expand their property. B and Z recommended unanimously to approve it. Staff also recommends approval.
This time I will open the public portion of this hearing. Anybody would like to speak for or against the proposal?
James has no public comment. Mr. Chair, I would move to close this portion of the public hearing.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So it looks like we've got resolution number 28 to approve or deny.
I move to approve resolution 2026-28 as presented.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, the resolution is adopted. Thanks, Tom. Probably keep moving back to Brandon.
Next is a request for the board to approve final sets of plans and authorize all of you to sign them for our paving project on Thrush. We're paving approximately 6.5 miles from B47 north until Mason city limits. So we do that whole, it's an asphalt project, but this is the one where I got the STP federal aid for. So we're going to try and correct on the north side of the avenue where the DOT's concrete approach ends. There's always been a pretty drastic dip off that. We're going to try and correct that as part of this project. It's always been kind of a pain when you're plowing. It ends up leaving a nice slick spot there, and it's comfortable for people to drive across. So we're going to attempt to fix that as much as we can during this paving project. I don't want to claim to completely fix it, but I think we'll get pretty close.
With our cutoff, in light of, I can't think of the name of the street, but where your buddy that you camp with, is that,
It's about half mile south of that. So about half mile north of Portland is where the Mason city limits are there.
so railroad involved as far as the tracks then too?
We got across the railroad. So yeah, half mile north of the railroad is essentially the end spot of that project.
Be done.
Yeah, it's time.
I move to approve the final plans and authorize the board to sign.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Anything else, Brandon? I noticed they had one of the sweepers out with one of the trucks.
Yeah, so we swept it once and then we hired another crew that has another company that has a better sweeper than ours to come out there and gonna be re-sweeping again here in the next week or so. So it should be pretty good out there after that.
So trying to
Yep.
work our way to that next hearing. So what's the plan now on the south side on Illinois? I mean, they started on the berm and where are they going from there?
I'm just gonna contact the fence people, have them come out and make sure that we have everything set they want. We have everything out of the way for them. And once that happens, we'll proceed with that. Then we'll go outside, do the same thing on the north. It's gonna take us a while to get the west side ready to go. But if we can get a fence across the south and the north end of the project, we'll be in pretty good shape. We have a cable across the entrance on the east side, and it's been really effective at keeping people from dropping trash in there. And if we can get that fence on the south side to keep bike riders from cutting across, and the fence on the north side, there's just an easy way to cross the property line there, so people cut through there to get to the bike area also. So those two will eliminate 90% of the people that go through the property. It's not that we don't like people, it's that there's a lot of dangerous blind spots out there, and I don't want anybody to get access to my equipment.
That 6-footer fence.
Yep. It just has to be big enough that somebody has to really be committed to getting their bike or whatever across it. That's all it is, just to kind of make sure they realize they're not supposed to be there.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tom, why don't you come up for the next public hearing?
So this rezoning is the applicant's Dwayne Schlichting. What they're doing here, as you can tell from the picture, they're going to survey out parcel D, and he actually lives across the street there. He's going to take possession of that. My understanding is the farmland to the west, then east or north and south, will be sold to that. So rezoning 2 acres from A1 ag to A2 ag. Killdeer P&Z Commission unanimously recommended approval.
Good. At this time, I'll open the public portion of the hearing for anybody that would like to speak to this for or against. Now would be the time.
With no apparent public input, I would like to move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Looks like resolution number 29.
Move to approve resolution 2026 number 29 regarding the zone change for Schlichting.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, resolution is adopted. All right, now to the Iowa Primary Care presentation. You guys can introduce yourselves and then go from there.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for allowing us to come and talk. My name is Ashley Marciniak. I am the District 3 leader with the Iowa Primary Care Association. I started with the organization back in June of last year. I'm a nurse practitioner, been in healthcare for over 20 years now, and happy to be here. Colleague Sarah.
All right, good morning. I'm Sarah Jansen. I'm the Senior Lead Navigator for District 3 for Iowa Primary Care. I'm an LISW and I have like 26 years of experience in mental health.
And my name is Mary French. I'm a community health consultant with the Iowa Department of Health and Human Services Behavioral Health Division, and I'm just here to provide some technical assistance and facilitate that communication.
Are you going to move forward with the presentation?
Yeah, I absolutely can do that right now.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and step up to the podium, please?
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys coming, letting us come and talk with you guys today. So we're gonna just give a brief overview of what the Iowa PCA is, kind of the role of what the BHASO or Behavioral Health Administrative Service Organization is, how it's changed in the state, going from the regional system, as I'm sure you guys all know, to the districting system. I'm going to hand it over to my colleague Sarah, and she can talk through system navigation and all the great things she's doing in that space. And then obviously our key partnership with the state. Mary's here today. We also work with Jane Larkin, who's a CHC as well, and how we kind of work in partnership with them as, you know, the contract holder. All of our contact information is within this PowerPoint as well. So you'll have our direct information. You can get a hold of us anytime, and then obviously open it up for questions. So, okay. So just for background, there are 3 organizations that really work on as an umbrella with Iowa PCA. So we are an organization that's also has Iowa Health Plus and In Concert Care. So everything we do is data driven. So our analytics service is part of that In Concert Care, where we get kind of our network reporting, information technology, strategy management, et cetera. And then the Iowa Health Plus services is really our value-based contracting space. So I've lived in the value-based care space for probably about the last 10 years of my career, not here with the Iowa PCA, but more on a national scale. It's very happy to come here and kind of help with that provider networking is going to look like long term. And then Iowa PCA, our roots are really in federally qualified health centers, doing a lot of things with healthcare, dental care throughout the state of Iowa. And obviously they had received the contract for the BHASO that started on July 1st. So big changes happened as of July 1 of last year. So we went from the regional system to the districting system, which was launched on that date. So what this really aimed to do was to overhaul all the mental health, substance abuse services, and kind of streamline access for all Iowans. The goal was to create an access point that was easily accessible and, you know, simplified in nature. So that way, then there was kind of one system across the entire state that could be a little bit more efficient, with less silos and less segmentation across counties. So how we align, we're really just I like to really preface when I talk about this kind of stuff. We understand that this is confusing. I think that there is, sometimes lack of transparency, and that we know that there was a lot of good things going on in the counties prior to the start of this. We also know that there were some things that weren't going so well, and that there were opportunities. And I think there's always opportunities in any situation to better. And really the goal of what my role is and what Iowa PCA is trying to do with the state is take an approach where we can, move forward from here and allow for this unique opportunity to redesign how behavioral health services are actually carried out throughout the state and individualized counties in a way that is meaningful for the communities that they're actually serving. So who is the Iowa PCA? So they are located in Des Moines. They were founded in 1988 as a nonprofit organization. Like I said, they really have their roots at Fredwood Qualified Health Centers, those 14 community health centers across the state, and really working to expand that quality and affordable care for all Iowans. So I'm sure you guys have seen this map before, but as you can see, the state is broken down into 7 districts. We are within District 3. There are 16 counties. So this map looks a little bit different across a lot of services within Iowa. I know public health, I think they're going live soon. Their map looks a little bit different, but eventually it will look exactly like this. And we will align on territory, if you will. So this does not mean that we do not have a lot of crossover into other districts. For example, Pathways, Prairie Ridge, there's multiple different organizations that cross district line, and we are not limited by our districts. So I work a lot with Jeremy Mask, who is a colleague of mine. He's a District 7 leader. Sarah Burnt, who's the District 6 leader. We have providers that obviously cover the whole state of Iowa, like YSS for youth services. We collaborate amongst districts. That is not, that's not unique. So another big piece to the change is that we have advisory councils. So the roles and responsibilities are listed here. What I can tell you is that if you have a lot of questions in terms of how board members are selected or what that process looks like, we do list that out on our website, so you can kind of go there and see the application, what that criteria actually does look like. We do have one opening in District 3 currently. Jeff Brinkley was the sheriff, obviously here, and he retired. So we are looking for a replacement for him right now. I know that there's a couple folks, one out of Marshalltown, and then one out of Clayton County that have applied. But if you do know anybody else who would fit that law enforcement criteria, please encourage them to apply, because we're obviously looking to fill that seat. This is really an advisory board by name and by function. So what I mean by that is there's not a lot of decision making out of this board. A lot of really what they do is we're trying to get input from those leaders within those communities to bring that to the council meetings and inform Iowa PCA, inform myself on what it is that your communities within the district are needing, are struggling with, have frustrations with, or are doing really well. We don't need to just, know all the bad stuff. We really want to know you're doing well in your counties, or in your small at small community level, because those are things that we can raise up and others can learn from, those successes. So we are doing a ton of outreach. And why are we doing that? We're doing that because there's still a ton of confusion. One of the pieces that will be coming out, I hope very, very soon, will be the district assessment and plans. Those started back in the fall of last year and are currently with the state being reviewed. Once they are done, then my colleagues and I can get those out to the public, so you can read them. Basically, what it is an assessment of all the contracted providers that we work with, and meetings and in-person touch points that we've had with folks all across the state, kind of understanding what it is you're doing, how you're doing it, what your gaps are, and producing a plan based off of what those assessments looked like. Now, it's, this isn't a plan where we come in and we tell, Cerro Gordo County how to do what they need to do with behavioral health. That's not at all what that is. It's more of a guide on, okay, so we talked to 43 North Iowa. We talked to, other organizations within Mason City and trying to understand what are your gaps, what is actually needed here, and how are we going to actually facilitate that? We also know that there's large systemic issues across the state, like transportation and workforce. What does that actually look like in housing, for example? Those conversations are escalated to the state, and I know lots of conversations are going on at that level. But it doesn't mean that PCA are going to be able to solve all the problems or be able to tell you how to solve all the problems. But we're here to listen and support, and really my role is more strategic in helping shape how this can look with your voices, obviously at that. So I'm going to stop talking and Sarah talk about something I'm making.
All right, so system navigation. So it looks a little bit different than when the regions were in place. But what we do is we work with the individuals and families that are seeking behavioral health support, and we work on getting them connected to professionals. But it's so much more complex than that, because if you're calling for behavioral health needs, there's usually something else that is co-occurring with it. So if you call in and you need to get connected with a medication prescriber or a therapist, when our navigators get talking with someone, we find out maybe they're having financial issues or maybe they're having housing issues. So we take a deep dive with them and figure out the barriers that they are experiencing. We try to reduce stigma. And the nice thing about system navigation is that there is no qualifications. You don't have to be below any income guidelines. You don't have to have a diagnosis to be eligible to get our services. So things that we do is that our navigators will provide extensive information, education, and guidance. We will help with applications for like Medicaid, SNAP, housing. Like I was talking about, we identify options to overcome barriers. We support transitions. We work with Flow State and other agencies when individuals are incarcerated, and they refer us to them when they transition out, so that we can make sure that they are connected to the appropriate services. We provide referrals, and we don't just give people numbers. We offer to make those phone calls with them, because sometimes it's really intimidating to make that phone call for therapy or for like substance use services. So we offer that service to make sure that people feel supported and connected. We, of course, do not provide the medication management. We are not long-term case management. We're more short-term. If someone needs longer-term case management, we work with the Disability Access Point to get people referred there. We do not provide the therapy. We are not a mobile crisis response. I'm not going to say that when people call us, we don't have people that might escalate into more of a crisis, but then we get them reversed back to like mobile crisis response or the services that they need. And with the ASO, compared to the regions, we do not provide the direct funding. This is a little bit of a repeat. Like I was saying, it's statewide. So if someone would call into Your Life Iowa and ask for system navigation, if they got a system navigator from District 4, they're going to get the same experience as if they got someone from District 3. So compared to the old system, different regions would offer different services. This is a blanket. You're going to get the same support no matter which district that navigator is from. It's like I was saying, it's open to everyone in Iowa. We work a lot with like schools, hospitals, law enforcement, lots of community agencies. I have come up and I have toured with John, all of 43 North Iowa. I've been up and spoke to the Beacon, Northern Lights, Prairie Ridge. So we've done some extensive outreach in Mason City. And we do have a site in Mason City. So 2 days a week, I have a navigator at Cerro Gordo Public Health on Mondays and Wednesdays from 8 to 4:30. And we are starting to see a lot of traffic come in so we can help people get their needs met. So why is it important? Like I was saying, we're trying to cast a big net. We are trying to be low barrier. We're trying to get people connected to the services that they need. All stages of life, we've helped kiddos in school and their families get support and get connected to waivers and BHIS services. And we have worked with elderly that need housing or substance use needs. So no wrong door is the approach that we'd like to say that we provide. And how to access it. Your Life Iowa is the one that dispatches to us. Right now, we're available Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. But if someone calls after hours or on weekends, that information gets emailed to us and they get a follow-up the next business day. And like I was saying, that's how you can reach us. And then the providers, entry points, we work a lot with managed care. We work with a lot of different agencies to get folks connected. And there's a provider line that they can call as well. And they can click which district they want to get through, and then they'll get through. For District 3, they'll get through to my team. What makes us unique? We have over 40 navigators with a lot of different experience. And we have this wonderful thing, the statewide Teams chat. So if someone can't come up with the solution themselves, they put their scenario in there and you'll be surprised how quickly people are coming up with, I have this experience. I know this provider. I'm getting people connected to where they need to be. And like I said, we are trying to do a broad reach and we are a no round door approach to individual. And there's no cost to anyone. This is a free service. Like I said, there's no financial barriers. We do have interpreters available to us, so language is not a barrier. We work to streamline and get people connected as quickly as possible because we know that there's a lot of wait lists with mental health and substance use, but we try to get pretty creative with getting people to what they need when they need it. And like I said, we do have a site here in Mason City. So I have 5 sites open and I have 1 more to open in District 3 right now. So we are working on making us available in person as much as we possibly can for the district.
How do clients or people know that you're at public health Mondays and Wednesdays?
We have done a lot of outreach with providers, and public health is also championing us and putting that out there that we are available. So we've got flyers specific for Mason City, Cerro Gordo County that we have been putting out throughout the community.
Okay.
We're working on Facebook. I know that they are working on some radio spots. They're trying to really get the word out there because social media seems to be the way that people like to communicate these days. So that's what we are really trying to get the word out more. So
Great, thank you.
I'm not going to bore you with these situations because but this is our call volume. It's a little higher than this now. This is not the most recent data, but we have been working on, we're over 20,000 calls now that we have received and made outbound to try to get people connected. And then you'll see how we just continue to really keep growing, that we just keep getting more and more inbound calls per month. So people are learning about us. We are really trying to get the word out there more and more for the community.
Just for the sake of
Yeah.
asking you on that backslide.
This one?
So is this statewide numbers?
Yes. We don't have it broke down by district just yet, but this is statewide calls. And then you'll see that our top 5 needs have been mental health, housing, substance abuse, financial concerns, and benefits. One thing I like to point out was like when the government shutdown happened and we knew staff was going to be full, if not unattainable, we as a state group, we made a giant resource base with all the food banks and what the eligibility was, what the hours were, so that we were ready before people started calling and getting people connected to those needs.
Something I can tell you in terms of data, we do not have anything broken down to Cerro Gordo County or at an individual county level at this point. But that is something that we are very hard with the state to get, so that way we can get those numbers to individualized counties as well as hopefully cities.
I feel like this to me.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And just, it just kind of highlights that we have a very strong relationship with the legal system. We participate in a lot of different meetings and coalitions, and really trying to have deeper discussion about how we can work collaboratively to get law enforcement and that legal partnership in coordination with the rest of the services that not only we offer, but our providers within the communities offer as well. All just contact information. So just kind of for reference, Abby Ferenzi is the Senior Director of the Behavioral Health Services for Iowa PCA. Emma Hall, who Sarah reports up through, and Liza, who all the district leaders report up through to Abby. So that way you can kind of see our leadership structure and their contact information if you do have any questions about things. I know Abby is pretty well known in the state of Iowa in terms of all the presentations and things that she has done in her career. You go to the next slide, Sarah. These are all the district leaders, all 7. You can see their contact info as well. You'll be able to track them down if you have any questions throughout different areas of the state. And the next slide is all the senior navigation leads. So all of Sarah's team, you can get their contact info as well if you would need that for any reason. And really, we can take questions that you may have.
Very good addition with Betsy.
I don't work as much with leaders that we were at.
She's a great teammate. I know she's doing a lot of really good things for her district. She's newer. She came in when I was on maternity leave, so I got to meet her after that.
Just stick around if we have any questions afterwards.
Absolutely, good to see her. Yeah.
Good. All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Anything else for the good of the cause? And any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. We're adjourned. Thank you.